Hi everyone, I'm Stefan Didak. I'm the founder and president of a little organization called Not Blowing Smoke. For those of you who might not know, Not Blowing Smoke started its life last year in March after the California Department of Public Health launched the worst smear campaign against vapor products ever seen. They spent $7 million of taxpayer money on running TV advertisements, social media advertisements, print magazine advertisements, billboards, small billboards on gas stations. I had advanced knowledge that they were going to launch this campaign, and their campaign was called Still Blowing Smoke. I found their website, I saw what it looked like, and I noticed Not Blowing Smoke was still available as a domain. So I spent $12. And then I spent 38 hours without sleep building a website. The other thing I noticed is that $7 million apparently does not buy you the social media accounts that go along with your campaign. So I took all the Twitter accounts for Still Blowing Smoke and the Facebook pages, and we launched within an hour of each other. And don't take my word for it. The British Medical Journal recently published an article that is a complete 8-page analysis of their campaign versus our campaign, and it shows theirs falling flat after 2 days and ours taking off like you've never seen anything take off like that. Of course, at that point, everybody is wondering, can we do a campaign like this in another state? Because people were asking, there's something going on in my state. Could you do one here? Could you do one there? And I'm like, well, not out of pocket with $12 and not spending 38 hours for every state over and over again. So if we're going to do something like this, we have to do something a little more serious, a little more professional, because the main narrative in all the smear campaigns is pretty much the same. The same reaction you want to give it should also be the same. So we thought about it for about 2 months and decided, well, if we're going to do this, we have to do it in a professional, transparent manner. We need to raise some funds because filing paperwork for a 501c6 organization is not cheap. So we did that. We've been incorporated as a nonprofit for about 8 or 9 months right now, and then decided it's time to take our simple narratives to explain really complicated things. And the FDA deeming regulations are very complicated. Not Blowing Smoke is known for its simplicity and dumbing things down. So we launched a website called fdaregs.info where hopefully within the next weeks we will break down the FDA regs in a way that everybody can understand it, because nobody understands the legalese and certainly nobody understands the regulations as they're written. As part of this, we also provide free content. In this case, for FDA regs, we've got some information that stores can put out. They can download it. It's for free, and it's been taking off. It's sort of weird, but I don't know why. But darn, yeah, man. Oops. The next thing we did is we launched a website called Vapor's Voting Guide, because a lot of vapors are not registered to vote. It's important in America to be registered to vote. You cannot get a meeting with any of your legislators or elected officials if you're not registered to vote. Also, considering this is an election year, and considering that we want to make a statement that 9 million vapors might be a wedge issue, we're launching the campaign to get vapors to register to vote. And then after a little while, we decided, let's go back to what we originally planned. Let's counter the smear campaigns that are going on everywhere. So we came up with a campaign called No More Casualties. The narrative is, don't make me a casualty of your war on smoking. The idea is that our opponents are locked into an ideological war on smoking because that's all they know. if you explain to the general public and the mainstream media that it's all about money and public health organizations and big pharmaceuticals, a lot of people will people will not like the idea of going up against big money. People will like the idea of going up against an ideology applied to products that should not ever have been part on this war on smoking. So we found a disabled veteran because one of the things we did is focus on the veterans, because veterans, active military, smoking rates are about 50 to 60% higher than in the civilian population. And we found Brian thanks to VaporVet. And Brian is one of those 9 million vapors out there that went to the store, buys his liquid, goes back home, vapes and lives his life. Like most other vapors. 2 weeks before we flew him in to take pictures for our campaign, he had no idea about bad regulations. He had no idea about expos, conventions, or any of that. It was an entirely new word for him. There's 9 million other Brians out there who do not want to be part of a war on smoking. The campaign has print material from in retail stores. We've got 5 different TV commercials. We've got billboards. We've got radio commercials. We have social media images. We've got pretty much everything. And we provide it for free. The point is, we're not raising funds to place the media out there. We're asking businesses to use a portion of their marketing budget and place the media for us in their area. That way they can keep the money local and we don't have to fundraise until we hit critical mass before we can start. The idea behind this is viral videos, online videos that go viral, take the same concept and make something go viral outside of the internet. The other thing we're doing these days is we're locked in a coalition with CASA and SFATA and AVA and AIMSA because, as we've always been saying, one of us is never as strong as all of us. And with that, let's see where the future goes. But always keep in mind, the war to convince other people, the war on smoking waged against us, is out there in the mainstream. It is not online. It is not on the internet. Because no matter how well you do it, you might reach 500,000 vapors. But there's millions more out there that you can't reach. And with that, I thank you very much.